Well, friends, Jim here with Science Talk, and I have a report for you that has been published in the Public Library of Science journal PLOS, Neglected Tropical Diseases. And the lead researchers, the principal investigators, is Dr. Sadie Ryan, who is a medical geographer at the University of Florida, and her colleague, Colin Carlson, who is a biologist at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. And what are they talking about here? Little suckers. Yes, mosquitoes. And basically what they're finding is that the mosquito risk to health may double by 2100. In other words, warming planet, mosquitoes could possibly extend their ranges, putting more people in jeopardy to becoming ill, from diseases that mosquitoes carry with them. And this is a general thing overall, that warming planet allows, for disease organisms to increase their ranges. And many disease organisms, of course, are vectors to carry disease either directly or through some intermediary other organism that's to complete a certain cycle. 1 billion people are already in danger of mosquito-borne disease. Malaria is just one of them, probably the best known, but aside from malaria, there's other diseases that mosquitoes carry and transmit. Just to give you some examples of some of these: dengue fever, yellow fever, Zika, remember Zika? Other viruses. And these, the spreading of these could be increasing. So here are some: the Aedes aegypti and the Aedes albopictus. These are scientific names for some mosquito species. As they extend their range to the north and south, you don't forget, you can go further south in the southern hemisphere, and they can move up to higher altitudes. Tropical infections that already kill millions will spread into the temperate zones, killing more people if they are not having access to preventative measures. So according to the study and these researchers, at some point in the next 50 years, 1 billion people could become newly exposed not just to dengue and yellow fever, but to other emerging diseases such as chikungunya, Zika, West Nile, Japanese encephalitis, and these are just carried by these two species that I just mentioned. There are other mosquito species, but just these two guys, just these two species, they can spread these diseases, which are very nasty, to more and more people. Climate change will have a profound effect on the global distribution and burden of infectious diseases. Current knowledge suggests that the range of mosquito-borne diseases could expand dramatically in response to climate change. As temperature goes up, so does the scope for disease transmission by insects that flourish in a range of temperatures. And if you think there's going to be any let up, think again. Infections could begin to happen year-round in the tropics, not seasonal, year-round. Some people could be at risk during the warmer seasons almost everywhere else. And of course, the infections could also become more intense, which means you put the victim at increased risk of succumbing to the disease. Rising temperatures open up new ranges for carriers of potentially lethal disease, and the latest study takes a closer look at what climate models predict about disease transmission by just these two species of mosquitoes. So Dr. Ryan states, these diseases, which we think of as strictly tropical, have been showing up already in areas with suitable climates such as Florida, because humans are very good at moving both bugs and their pathogens around the globe. A little bit of a sarcastic zinger in there, but point is well taken. Her co-author, Dr. Carlson, states that climate change is the largest and most comprehensive threat to global health security. Add that to food security. Mosquitoes are only part of the challenge, but after the Zika outbreak in Brazil in 2015, we're especially worried about what comes next. Yeah, I would be too. Interestingly enough, rising temperatures could be good news for some at-risk populations. Both the Anopheles mosquito that carries the malaria parasite basically is most dangerous within a range of temperatures. As the thermometer rises, it could become too hot for the Anopheles mosquito, too hot for malaria transmission, and maybe even too hot for mosquitoes. That'd be one nice thing. So, as Dr. Carlson says, any scenario where a region gets too warm to transmit dengue is one where we have different but equally severe threats in other health sectors. So, remember, a warmer planet increases the risk of diseases, especially those carried by organisms, where they're the vectors for those diseases. They just looked at 2 species of mosquitoes and the number of diseases they could carry. Warming planet means they can expand their range of infecting more people. That's basically what they're telling us here in the study. Now, the Anopheles, okay, may not do well with very warm temperatures, but as bad as malaria is, and it's bad, Zika, dengue, encephalitis, those even worse. So we're starting to see what's happening. You know, I've discussed with you the increase in food security. Now we're seeing increase in health security, and there's other stuff to come. So until the next time, thank you for your time. Hey friends, this is Jim reminding you to subscribe and share my videos. Also, don't forget to click the bell so that you know when I drop a video in. And I'm also asking for you to please support the work that I do by becoming a patron at patreon.com. Details in the description box below. Thank you for your continued support.